Hello viewers, welcome to Open Book by RS. In this video presentation, I want to introduce parts of speech. In our day-to-day usage, we use different kinds of words in different contexts. These words are grouped into 8 classes. So, according to their nature and function in sentences, words are divided into the following 8 classes. This classification is called parts of speech. There are 8 parts of speech, noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. Actually, these parts of speech is a very big topic. There is a lot to learn. But for the time being, just as an introduction, I want to introduce all these 8 parts of speech in brief. Later, in separate videos, in separate presentation, I will give a detailed account of all these parts of speech. First, let us take noun. All names are nouns. So, a word which refers to the name of a person, place, or thing is called a noun. Example: Abdul Kalam was the President of India. So a very famous man, a great president, we should recall him, Abdul Kalam. So here Abdul Kalam is name of a person. President, name of a post. India, name of a country. So all these are nouns. Next, Andhra Pradesh is a rich state. Andhra Pradesh, name of a place. Of course, state, also name of a place. Next, rupee is the currency of India. Rupee, currency, India, all these are nouns. There are various kinds of nouns: proper noun, common noun, material noun, collective noun, abstract noun. I will explain all those things later. Next parts of speech, pronoun. A word which is used instead of a noun, in the place of a noun, is called a pronoun. Example: Arun says that he is interested in physics. Here, Arun is the noun. Arun says that he is interested in physics. In the place of Arun, we use he. So that he is a pronoun. Next, the dog barked when it heard some noise. Dog, noun. In the place of a dog, instead of repeating the word dog, we use it in that place instead of the dog. So it is a pronoun. Many people feel that they know everything. People, noun. In the place of people, we substitute they. So they is a pronoun. You and I should be ready to face any problem. Here, you and I are pronouns and directly used pronouns. This pronoun is also a big topic, and there are 9 kinds of pronouns. All those 9 kinds will be explained later. And one among them is personal pronoun. A brief introduction of personal pronoun is a must here. There are 3 personal pronouns. It's very easy. First person, second person, and third person. Each person has 2 numbers, singular number and plural number. First person singular is I, and its plural form is we. Second person, both singular and plural forms one and the same. You is the singular and you is the plural form. Third person, he, she, it, singular forms. Plural form is they. So these are all the personal pronouns. Just introduction of personal pronouns this is. Next, the third of parts of speech is adjective. Adjective is a word which qualifies a noun or adds something to its meaning. So adjective describes a lot. See, adjective refers to the quality, quantity, number, color, size, shape, and so on. So it tells something about a noun always. Look into the examples, then you will get clarity. Swami Vivekananda was an eloquent speaker. Speaker is noun here. And what sort of a speaker he is? Eloquent speaker. So, eloquent is adjective. Next, she is an intelligent girl. Girl is noun here. What sort of a girl she is? Intelligent girl. There is much water in the tank. Water is the noun here. That much refers to the quantity of that noun. Next, there are 40 students in the class. Students is the noun. It refers to 40 refers to its number. She has a round face. Face is the noun and round refers to the shape. In the same way, in the first sentence, eloquent speaker. So what sort of a speaker he is? Eloquent speaker. His quality is referred. Quality of the great Swami Vivekananda. Intelligent girl. So the girl, what sort of a girl she is? It also refers to quality. So in this way, adjective refers to quality, quantity, number, size, color, shape, and so on. So all these are the adjectives, and we use adjectives in our day-to-day life always. So the fourth of parts of speech is verb. Verb is the heart of a sentence. So you must have thorough and clear idea of a verb. Usually people say verb refers to action or work. When people say like that, it's only partial meaning, partial definition. Look into the clear definition of a verb. A word which refers to action, condition, or possession of the subject is called the verb. So here verb refers to action or work. Not only that, it refers to condition. Not only that, possession. So in this way, verb refers to action, condition, possession. Take the example. R.K. Narayan wrote many novels. In this sentence, wrote is the verb. It refers to action. Next, she is eating her lunch. Eating refers to action or work. So it's a verb here. So verb does not stop there. It has other functions. She is a doctor. Is refers to condition of that person. So is the verb here. He has much knowledge in English. Here has refers to possession. So it's also verb. So in this way, verb refers to action, condition, or possession. We have different verbs. Action verbs, see, work, see, look, eat, and so on. So many verbs are there. Almost hundreds of verbs are there. We have different actions, and each action has one word and it's a verb. So action verbs are unlimited, whereas verbs refer to condition are limited. See there. Am, is, are, was, were. So very limited. Am, is, are, was, were. These are the verbs referring to condition. And some more are there, a few more are there, and we will see those things later. Verbs referring to possession. Have, has, had. So these are the very limited verbs referring to possession, and some more, a few more are there. We will see those things later. In order to avoid confusion, we want to stop here with this verb. Next, forms of a verb. So the very important aspect of a verb. We always use different forms. For example, write, wrote, written, see, saw, seen, go, went, gone. What are all these? All these are the different forms of a verb. So there are basically three forms, and a fourth form is also there. So the first form, that is V1, present tense form of verb. Examples: write, see, eat, stand, sit. Next, past tense form of verb. Wrote, saw, ate, stood, sat. Next, past participle form of a verb. Written, seen, eaten, stood, sat. Here, observe. Write, wrote, written, see, saw, seen. eat, ate, eaten, stand, stood, stood, sit, sat, sat. And the fourth form is present participle form of a verb. This is writing, seeing, eating, standing, sitting. That is first form plus ing, present tense form plus ing. It forms present participle form. So all these are the different forms of a verb, and for our convenience we can say V1, V2, V3, V4. That is verb 1, verb 2, verb 3, verb 4. It is for convenience sake only. But always better to remember the exact form clearly for particularly beginners. Present tense form of verb, past tense form of verb, past participle form of verb, and present participle form of verb. So these are the forms of a verb, and a list of the forms will be provided to you for your learning. Next, adverb. Adverb always adds something to the meaning of a verb, an adjective, another adverb. See there. A word which modifies or adds something to the meaning of a verb, an adjective, or another adverb is called an adverb. So here adverb has three functions. It modifies a verb, not only that. It adds something to the meaning of an adjective, not only that. It adds something to the meaning of another adverb. So in this way, adverb modifies a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Example. Our Prime Minister speaks eloquently. Here speaks is the verb. And how does he speak? Eloquently. So the word eloquently adds something to the meaning of a verb speaks. So eloquently is an adverb because it adds, it modifies the verb. Next, say similar example. Our Prime Minister speaks quite eloquently. Here, quite modifies or adds something to the meaning of eloquently, that adverb. So the second adverb is another adverb called quite eloquently. Speaks quite eloquently. Speaks is the verb, eloquently is the first adverb, and quite eloquently is the second adverb. Like this. Next, the picture is very beautiful. So beautiful is adjective, you know. And how beautiful is the picture? Very beautiful. So very is an adverb. In this way, adverb modifies verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Next, preposition. So preposition is a very big topic, and once command on prepositions shows one's command over the entire language, because prepositions often confuse us. So a very difficult task to get command over the prepositions. One needs lot of concentration, lot of effort to get command over prepositions. So let us try to get something. First, let us know what a preposition is. A word which is placed before a noun or pronoun to show the latter's relation with other words in a sentence is called a preposition. See, observe the word preposition, preposition, that is placed before something, before a noun. Look there. There is a monkey on the tree. I have taken all the simple examples for proper understanding. There is a monkey on the tree. So, on is placed before the tree. There, on shows or establishes relationship between monkey and tree. Monkey on the tree. So, on establishes relationship. So, preposition establishes relationship between words or between noun and other words in a sentence. Next, second example. There is a donkey under the tree. So what's the relation between donkey and a tree? Donkey under the tree. So under establishes relationship. Next, the boy jumped into the river. So the boy jumped into the river. What's the relation between the boy and the river? Boy jumped into the river. So in this way, on, under, into are the prepositions here. And just look into the other examples for prepositions. In, into, on, at, with, by, for, since, under, beside, besides, between, among. So many are there. These are just introduction of prepositions. Next, conjunction. So conjunction is a joining word. Simply it joins words. So a word which joins words, phrases or clauses is called a conjunction. Example. You can travel by bus or by train. Actually, here the sentence is you can travel by bus, you can travel by train. In this way, both the sentences are combined here by using are. So, you can travel by bus or by train. So, the sentence is simplified by using that are. Next example. She went to the bank and drew some money. Here also, she went to the bank, she drew some money. In order to avoid that repetition, and is used to join both the sentences. She went to the bank and drew some money. Next, though she is poor, she is kind. Actually, these are two sentences. She is poor, she is kind. Both are separate sentences. By using though, we joined both the sentences into one sentence. So, though she is poor, she is kind. Here are some of the important conjunctions. And, or, but, though, if, unless. These are the word conjunctions. Not only, but also either, or, neither, nor. These are the phrase conjunctions. And there are many other conjunctions. We'll see those things later. And finally comes the interjection. So always that interjection is used to express our sudden feelings, strong feelings. So a word which expresses a strong and sudden feeling is called an interjection. Example. Oh, I have lost my cell phone. Oh, so that the word interjection expresses sudden feeling. Next. Alas, so many people died in the floods. Alas, sad expression and sudden feeling, sad expression. Next, hooray, I have got a job. Hooray, the word of happiness, excitement. And of course, in our day-to-day life, we may not use that word hooray, alas. Of course, these are the expressions used by English people. So don't worry about those things. And we may use interjections like what, how, something like that. So all these are the interjections. So always interjection expresses strong and sudden feelings. This is only brief introduction of the parts of speech, and I will explain the different parts of speech in a detailed way in the next videos. Thank you for watching.